Good afternoon. I submit for your approval, or your consideration. When the weight would come down on it, when we set it down again and again, it was leaning to the left just a little bit, and I had everything up and squared it and set it down, and it would just keep leaning to the left. Finally, I'm like, okay, I gotta have the exact frame to measure from, so I can see why it just keeps wanting to lean to the left, because everything was pretty well even. So we'll figure it out this time. Anyway, there's the back spring. You know, I could see how if with the air shocks and the spring in the middle, it will tend to keep it straight up and down, but not completely force it to stay straight up and down. If the swing arms could twist so that the bike itself up here was independent of, let's see, independent of, this is here, yeah, it needs to eliminate that twist from the rear end going side to side. The rear end would, the whole back end would do its side to side thing. But if the weight was centered here and kept in balance out here by the air, you could have a little bit of lean, even though it would be, you wouldn't notice it, I don't think, but you would notice that the front wheel doesn't get jerked side to side when you go over bumps because of the damn straight axle. But at least the axle looks straight now. Who'd have thunk it would be so difficult to make a damn axle straight, but I guess it can be sometimes. I mean, me getting it straight, not the axle itself. I guess it's straight. I think they might have their angles slightly off on those, but I don't know. I think that because it looks like it is. You can see it. That footrest is at a steeper angle than that footrest, and that's what's making it lean to the left. But I don't know why that would be, because these are right into the swing arm points that the Goldwing has from the factory. It's like they're at different heights. If I had a level floor to measure off of, that would help, but I guess I don't know. Oh well. Alright. Exhaust needs to be welded up still. Tap it all down nice and around there. Maybe cut those off, because it's not going to get put on the center stand, and make something for a seal, because I pulled the splines out past their extension point, but there's still not much spline in there, and I don't think this thing's going to I don't think it's 87 horsepower is going to rip those splines out of there anytime soon. My coil, I think, needs to be taller, so I'm probably going to have to cut another one. Luckily, Mr. McPherson made a strut removal tool for removing his struts. Thank you, Mr. McPherson, wherever you are. Don't you just want to mount shoes to these like you see, and go for a walk? No, that sounds actually dangerous, and probably end up in failure and pain. Okay. I cut that one, but I just kind of guessed. I didn't know how much, so thinking this one, I wish I had a torch as well. I could heat it and get my coil straightened out some, because it comes out at quite an angle. So what I'm also likely going to have to do is where to go? Missing stuff. It's around here somewhere, or not. Probably in the van. It is in the van. Chinese fire drill. think what I have to do is cut this bottom, cut this plate here for the bottom. Since it's got that step in there, that will help quite a bit. Like, cut it around the shock part here, and then I can mount it. And I've got another top plate for mounting, but it doesn't quite have the step on it like that. I don't know, this seems like a lot of work. Seems like I could probably make that one. Maybe I could alter that one a little bit. Well, let's have to see. I'm not in a big hurry to do that, but anyway, yeah, it's clearly, this one's at a different angle than that one. That's got to be why it leans. Why are they at different angles? I don't know. I know these bearings are tight. Because I pulled the cap and made sure they were greased up well and they were snug. Here's my steering dampener. I'm thinking about, I want it right here. I want this to be mounted right under here. The airbox is a bit in the way though. I want it mounted there so that this part can come right under the edge of the tank cover there. I wouldn't even mind cutting a hole in the tank cover down there, if down at the very bottom where it wasn't really visible, to allow this to pass through if necessary. But that way this can be tucked in here all nice and snug and dampen the steering well. I did have it bolted, U-bolted right to here, which worked alright with the clamp I had up here connected. It had enough range and all that. Actually turned almost all the way to the lock on the left and all the way to the lock on the right without any issues. But when I put the tank cover on, it wants to come down right on that edge right there. This needs to be like 2 inches farther back. It would be perfect. That way this end would be right around in there. Get hooked on a little ball mount thing, some sort of joint that's going to hold it securely but allow it some movement. And then no more worries about any type of steering wobble. You'd be able to let go of one of the handle grips, to change the radio station or something without having to worry about hitting the bump and this thing jerking all over and you crashing or something, because that's no fun. It's just, I'm trying to find ways to overcome the inherent problem of having a straight axle in the back. I wish I had an import car differential, like an old Celica or something. I saw one on Craigslist and I messaged the guy about it, and he wanted $1,000 for one and $1,500 for the other. I'm like, okay, yeah, and a lot of my price range there for a rear differential from a '79 Celica. But it is IRS. I mean, this frame's stout enough to put some plates on there, a couple of struts. You just have to have something to hold the rear diff in place. Which that doesn't even seem that hard. You could go across that bottom down there to the back of the differential, and support in the front right here, bolted into this even, and the diff ain't going nowhere. And some short drive lines, and God. Anyway, I don't have the budget or the time for that, unfortunately. That's what actually, now I want to build a trike. I want to build it just like that. Okay, a couple of front struts and adapt them in there. Oh yeah, anyway. Back to the reality. So much to do in so little time. Hey, there's that other one. A little cleaner. Turn this into the steering dampener, but it's so damn big. Anyway, okay, I guess that's good enough for now. I gotta figure out what I'm doing here and quit talking and start fabbing. Fabulous. Alright, catch me next time here. Have a good day.